It's true. No, no, no. Stop denying it. Face it head on. You are Jimmy. There's no doubt that at least one part of you sympathized with Jimmy the first time you played mouthwashing. Why did Curly crash the ship? Why is Anya not doing her job as a nurse? Why is Swansea being so secretive and sus? Why is Daisuke just a useless piece of human garbage? Why am I going around and doing all these tasks as if I'm the only one taking responsibility? And then you realize, oh shit, wait, no, the guy I'm playing is absolute human garbage. My bad, oops. But what if you were never shown the true Jimmy? You might have still gone through the game thinking Jimmy is just a misunderstood guy who is trying his best. Or even if you come to realize the truth, you did, at least for a second, believe the lies Jimmy told. It's a human thing after all. Innocent until proven guilty, right? And if you pause to think, has that happened to me before in real life? Have I believed the lies of other Jimmys in my life? No, 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 scratch that. Have I believed my own lies and in doing so became a Jimmy myself? Have I disregarded someone's feelings in order to reach a goal? Have I constructed this false image of a person and acted falsely because of it? Have I undermined a person's efforts to prop myself up because I've done more than them and am more experienced? I've done more than them in this ship after all, in this project, in this household. Stripping down and analyzing the character of Jimmy makes him seem a bit more human. There wasn't any unnatural cosmic force that made Jimmy randomly decide to do those awful things. No, they came from human thoughts and human decisions. It's as if you could make those decisions yourself. But entertaining the question of whether or not you relate to the absolute worst human being to be ever created is uncomfortable. Just thinking about this hurts. This hurts. There was an interview by Gene Park with the main writer for Mouthwashing, Johanna Kasurinen. One quote that really stuck with me is when Johanna said, she sees many people talk about how we all know Jimmy, and while she agrees with the sentiment, the more interesting but challenging question is, can you see any of yourself in him? That quote reignited my drive to analyze Mouthwashing's story once more. She's right. We should be asking the question if we can relate to Jimmy, because we can't simply ignore him. One thing I see in this fandom is the censoring of Jimmy's name and simplification of his character to some purely evil villain that shall not be named. While I do recognize some of it is in good fun, I worry that we may be dismissing the character in analysis of Mouthwashing too quickly. In doing so, we miss one of the main messages of Mouthwashing. I hope this hurts. It is a vague statement that could be interpreted in many different ways, but the author themselves proposed a very unique spin on this phrase. She is talking to you. She hopes that through the words that she wrote, through the story that she expertly crafted, and through the experience that you witness, that you will hurt, because she wants you to ask these uncomfortable questions of, do I relate to Jimmy? Am I a Jimmy in real life? Have I allowed a Jimmy to be free? Have I hurt an Anya? And much, much more. This game asks you so many questions that expose a lot of things about yourself that may have been hidden under the layers of your own ego and excuses. It definitely made me think about myself so much more than any other piece of media has in recent memory. It has possibly changed my views and beliefs 10 times in a span of a month. Each time I thought about this game, it hurt. But it hurt in a way where I was being honest with myself. In a way where I faced my problems and took decisive action. It made me feel really vulnerable and made me think that I'm not as good as a person that hold on, stop this nonsense. May, you're not Jimmy. This is just even ridiculous to even entertain the thought of you being Jim Baba. But what if I am? There is no knowing that I may be placed in a similar situation as him in the future. I need to be prepared for that. Oh, come on, bro. You walk up to a hot woman, fail to compliment her as you stutter like a record on the turntable, and scurry off in embarrassment, screaming like a baby. You are not gonna do the same thing that Jimmy did. Let's be real with that. But it's not exactly about what Jimmy did. It's about how people can be so easily caught up in this false sense of righteousness and follow it so blindly that it destroys everything. That is a very human thing to do. If they still believe that what they do is right and that they're taking responsibility. But in doing so, they do anything that makes them reach that goal, even if that something means destroying everything in the first place. Doesn't that sound like a me thing to do? Nah. You don't intend to hurt anyone anyway, right? So what's the matter? If you ever fuck up, just take responsibility for your actions. Blah blah blah, and you'll be fine. Trust me. Everything will be alright. But the way you're thinking is exactly how Jim. Yeah, whatever. Just wrap up this video, babe. I need to go stomp some noobs in Marvel Rivals or whatever. Bye. I understand that going down this train of thought is not easy, and there are people who aren't ready to deal with that. But I think asking ourselves these uncomfortable questions should happen at least once in our lives, even though you might vehemently oppose the notion that you could ever be like Jimmy. Not only do you have an incredible piece of media that makes us reflect about the person we are, the thoughts we have, and the decisions we decide to make or not make, but also have a large welcoming community of like-minded people with similar backgrounds to discuss all these uncomfortable themes with the proper care it deserves. We are living in a moment where this game brought us all together to be seen, to be heard, and to discuss something that is normally not ever brought up in the first place. I've seen it personally in so many comments of my videos, sharing their uncomfortable stories and trauma. While I don't want to impose any reason on these comments, I like to think that they share their stories to let other similar victims be seen, or to educate other people on how a victim truly feels about this game and how it talks about its themes. Even I, who have never experienced something like that, still can empathize with their struggles and the difficulty of laying yourself bare to the outside world in the hopes that it can be heard, and the relief of having this opportunity being presented to you with the release of mouthwashing. I have learned a lot from these comments, and it's not only limited to the comments made by victims. There are also comments from people who have felt an eerie connection to Jimmy, or even Curly, and have seen themselves almost do something that may have scarred them for the rest of their life. Just like me, they ask themselves these uncomfortable questions, and I hope that they too have ensured themselves that they would not repeat the mistakes of Jimmy and Curly. I'll be honest, making this video hurt. It hurt asking myself these uncomfortable questions. It hurt to look at Jimmy right in the face once more and recall his horrible actions in my analysis. And it hurt to write my personal feelings onto the script. And what for? Will this be worth it? I'm really not sure. But I just hope that this video makes people think about an important topic surrounding Jimmy that isn't brought up as much, just like how mouthwashing is done for the themes around SA. And I hope that I've convinced at least one person listening to reflect on their feelings and become a better person. To be honest, if you've watched this far, really listened to my words, and decided to reflect on your own character, you aren't Jimmy. Or at least, I hope you don't become one. Thanks so much for watching, and I hope you have a great day, week, and month.